January 4th of 2015, I experienced a sinus infection which caused my entire nervous system to malfunction. I was experiencing a constant migraine, unrelenting pain, shortness of breath, weakness to the point that I had to be carried around just to go places, and my parents had to feed me because I was too weak to hold a fork. Now remember, prior to this, I was a successful competitive gymnast. Colleges were looking at me, and I was on the road to getting full ride scholarships. So in February of 2015, I was sent to the hospital because I had a heart rate of over 140 beats per minute, which is very dangerous for a long duration of 4 hours or more. And the doctor came in and said that I had rhabdomyolysis, which means that my muscles were deteriorating, which could have caused my heart to deteriorate. Luckily it didn't. That lasted for about 3 or 4 months. My doctor also came in and said I had a brain tumor, which that just infuriated me. Like, I was questioning God. I was like, why did you do this to me? What have I done to be so unloyal to you for me to experience all this agony? So then in August of 2015, the doctors in Florida were too baffled to understand what was truly going on besides the rhabdo, which had gone away, and the brain tumor, which was starting to shrink. So in August, I was sent to Mayo Medical, which is in Minnesota, and my doctor was the founder of my disease, dysautonomia, POTS. He also told me that if I was still interested in medicine by the time I would be of that age to go to med school, he would basically admit me into Mayo. I wouldn't really have to go through that admission process. So that really made my anger towards God lessen. I was a lot more thankful at God, and I wasn't really living a very Christian life in the means, like I wasn't really praying as often and reading my Bible, but that's because I couldn't hold it because it was hurting. But I started saying prayers more like, God, please just take me, I am miserable, or when are you going to take me, because there's nothing in this earth that's going to be better than in heaven. And so I was more of a suicidal prayer than an actual prayer. And so then December 6th of 2016, I decided to fully trust God, and I got baptized. And from that point on, I really just became a really strong Christian. My mom got a devotional for her and I to do together, and my dad and I did Bible studies, and my faith really started growing. So now that my mental and emotional and spiritual health were increasing, my physical health wasn't as bad as it was prior. I mean, it was still bad, but it was not as bad. And so what I learned from this entire experience is I was living life based on my ways and not God's ways. God's ways are what's best for us. Jeremiah 29:11 clearly states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not harm, plans for a future and hope in the future." That's a really good verse for me, at least, because I knew that even though through my deepest and darkest turmoils and miseries, God is still there, and his ultimate plan is to allow me to succeed and glorify him. So through this experience, I was actually able to meet so many doctors, endocrinologists, rheumatologists, oncologists, neurologists, cardiologists, all types, and each one of them told me that I could shadow them, which in medicine, that's a huge opportunity. That's something you really want. So I've been blessed, and that is my story with my faith.